It's Windless Nerd Out time! How you guys doing today? Happy Windless Nerd Out time, you guys. And today we're going to be talking about training versus overtraining. You know, get into recovery a little bit. You know, what types are best, and you know, how often should we do it, right? So let's get right into it, as we have no birthdays on the menu today. If we forgot about you, happy birthday to you. I hope you're having a great day from all of us here at Wend Wellness. So when we talk about overtraining, well, you know, what are some of the bad things that can result from overtraining? Obviously, injury is one of them, right? You know, aside from that, it can affect your sleep, right? You can get worse sleep. You can have neural hyperactivity throughout the day. You know, your mind is racing, and I know we get these benefits of, you know, feeling more relaxed, having better mental focus and things like that generally after we work out. At least I feel like that. But overtraining is very different, all right? It can drop your immune system, right? It can raise your blood pressure. It can decrease your heart rate variability. It can decrease your exercise performance, all right? The following day, or, you know, that day, if you're doing a 2-a-day, if you're not recovering properly. Recovery, when we're not in the gym, that is when our muscles are growing. That is when we're gaining strength and hypertrophy, right? Where when we're in the gym, we're getting those micro tears, right? We're from the strenuous exercise, and now we need to repair them afterwards, which again, how will happen when we're not in the gym, and how long generally will this take? Well, we've talked about delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS, before here at Wend Wellness, and generally, you know, that'll last anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, that delayed onset muscle soreness after your workout, right? And it's somewhat indicative of the time frame required to genuinely recover from rigorous exercise, right? So it's interesting because there are many different types of recovery out there. People live by, some live by stretching, some live by ice or heat or massage, or, you know, like we say, it could be even electrical stim, right? Other passive care modalities. But one that I want to talk about that I think is worth mentioning is active recovery. I'm going to put this up a little bit. Active recovery. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. What up? What up, Tosh? How you doing, girl? What's going on? Cuz, what's up, baby? How you doing, Mike? And VK Ham. Thanks for hopping on, guys. So, active recovery. So what's active recovery, right? Well, we just killed it in the gym yesterday, right? And today, you know, would be our 7th day in a row working out, and instead we're going to take off. So what are we going to do? We're going to sit on the couch and we're going to watch Netflix all day because we earned our day off. Is that what we're going to do? Well, no, actually you're better off, and you will recover better without being fully sedentary that next day and on your off days. And when we say active recovery, it includes things that are, you know, light physical or, you know, cardiovascular activity that aren't overly strenuous, right? You're not really undergoing many micro tears in the muscle fibers. You're not really pushing it. Not enough to damage the muscle, right? Just enough to get the blood flowing. All right? So you're out there, you're going for a walk, you're doing yoga, you're going for a hike, right? And this is for somebody that, you know, you work out hard all these other days of the week. On your recovery day, active recovery, it's worth a shot. I mean, you know, I feel great when that's how I recover, right? Not when I'm just sitting there all day the next day. You actually want to keep blood flow in the muscles to promote their full recovery, right? So don't just go sit there. Now, when this thing keeps falling down on me, huh? How you doing? There we go. I'm just going to put it up real high. So there was a small study that came out in 2017, and they said that they had equal outcomes from cold water immersion and active recovery in terms of relieving soreness and exercise-induced inflammation. So, you know, again, active recovery and, you know, an ice bath were equally effective in reducing soreness and post-exercise inflammation. Now, another study came out and they said, well, massage is number one. Massage reduces muscle soreness and fatigue after exercise more than anything. So, you know, another study said that there's so many different things out there. Really, everybody's body's unique and different. you do what works best for you. Some people live by training 7 days a week. Some people live by training 5, resting 2. Some train 4. They power lift and they, whatever. They rest 3 days. But let's say this, because really what value is there to talking about how generally everybody does things different and you're unique. We hear that all the time. Here's a way you can apply it. Okay, if you're somebody that goes and you generally do a full upper body day and then you do a full lower body day, right? Well, if you did a full upper body day, right, and you went 2 days later to do that again, now your minimum recovery for a muscle group, specific muscle group, is 24 hours. All right. Now, if you hit it real hard, in my opinion, give it 2 days. Right. And 2 days after is generally when you're the most sore. When you really hit something good, right? And if you hit legs good, it could be sore for up to a week. But when we talk about DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, 24 to 72 hours after your workout, generally it will persist. So if you hit back and bars, give it. If you hit it good, give it at least a day, but in my opinion, 2 days, right? But the research says a day here. So back to our example, if you're someone who does lower body and upper body another day, right? If you hit half your body a day later, you try to do it again, you're not recovering properly. You're just not, or you didn't work out hard enough that other day if you fully recovered already, in my opinion. And I guess it's what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking to just not be fat. You're looking to just be generally healthy. That maybe you didn't push yourself to that limit, and maybe 24 hours was enough for you. But generally, that's not the case. If you're if you're somebody that does a wide range of muscle groups in one day, right? So if you're somebody, those people, you can take off, say, every 3 days. You do all lower body, all upper, off. Then repeat. Lower, upper, off. And then at least each of them got a couple days in between there, right? To be safer. And then maybe even within that cycle, you can take an extra day of rest every 6 or 7 or whatnot. But what about us guys who go in there, and not saying this is me, but you go in and you do chest on Monday, or you do back on Tuesday, and you do shoulders the next day, right? Well, these types of people, if you're doing isolated movements, you actually can work out more days in a row, because what's happening is the other muscle groups are getting time off, right? And so they're getting a little bit of rest here. Just because you went to the gym and you did biceps and back the day before, it doesn't mean you can't go and do chest and tries the next day, and shoulders the next day, or legs the next day, or abs the next day, right? That it will suffice as a proper amount of rest time. My dogs are going crazy, I'm sorry. A proper amount of rest time for the muscle groups that weren't being activated those days where you were hitting other things in isolation, right? So, it totally depends on how you work out and what your goals are, right? Now let's see, if you're somebody that does just moderate intensity, light to moderate intensity cardiovascular exercise, say, daily, you get up and you go for your run. What you're more worried about is your joints there, not your muscles, because cardiovascular recovery is different than muscular recovery. You can, it doesn't require the same amount of time. We're talking about delayed onset muscle soreness, right? So if you're somebody that does cardio all the time and you just love, improving your blood flow, and, you go for that jog every day, something like that, your cardiovascular recovery should be good enough that you could do it every single day. Every single day, so long as you're not abusing your body, maybe running 10 miles, 12 miles, a day, 8 months, something crazy, right? But it's something to be said about the difference in recovery from cardiovascular versus, weightlifting, right? Training. So, that's another big thing. And I believe aside from that, that's really all we got for you guys here today. You recover and do you the best way you got, all right? And we're here to help you do that. So I hope you got something out of it. I had fun talking about it. It's a commonly discussed topic. So don't go hurting yourself in the gym, but don't go too light either, baby. Remember, you can go for that jog every day so long as your joints are holding up. You don't want to take the brunt on the knees. Maybe you don't do it on pavement. Maybe go to the track. Maybe swim one of the days instead. Give the knees, the ankles a rest, and the hips, right? But that's a whole nother day topic of discussion we can get into. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you tomorrow for another one. I'm not sure where, I'm not sure when, but we'll see you then, you guys. Thank you. Happy Wend Wellness. Have a great night.